Hello and welcome to the Tryline Podcast. Big weekend of footy. How you feeling? You hungover or anything?
No,
You feeling great?
yeah, I'm feeling good.
We had a good weekend actually. It was pretty busy. Went to the game on Sunday. Had an engagement party on the Saturday. Pretty full weekend. Back to work tomorrow.
Yeah, not me.
You got tomorrow off?
Yeah,
I'm not calling sick.
do it.
Yeah, that sounds
Yep.
good. Anyway, World Cup year. Matty Johns, Andrew Johns. There's been a little bit of talk around. They've commented on it on Matty Johns' show. They're thinking about coaching Samoa,
Yep.
along with maybe bringing in Sonny Bill Williams as well. Crazy. I'll read off what Matty Johns said. They've got a head coach there at the moment, but I spoke to Andrew again today about it, and they're serious. They've both got full-time jobs, and they don't know how it'll work. But Joey's also been talking to Sonny Bill Williams. What do you think about this?
I like it. I think it's good.
I think it's sick.
Yeah.
And they want to. Matty said they want to try and emulate what Tonga did. You know how last year or the year before there was no national footy last year. They were very competitive. I think they ended up beating Australia in one game.
Yeah, they beat Australia.
Which is huge.
Yeah,
So
massive.
we've had a look. We've had a little look, and I've decided to put together a potential Samoan side for the World Cup. And I think you've put together a Tongan side.
I've put together a Tongan side. Yeah.
And I don't want to. I'll have you go first for your Tongan side, but I don't want to toot my own horn. My Samoan side is huge. I will preface this by saying it's a little bit hard because, like, some players qualify for New Zealand and Australia as well, so it's going to work out like where they're going to go. But this is a potential Samoan and Tonga side. Let's start with Tonga.
Yep. Alrighty. So let's start with the fullback. We got Will Hopewadi. The wingers we got Dave Fusatua and Staffatoa. The centres, I got Wonga Blake, and Moses Sully. Into the halves, Tony Staggs at 6.
Nice.
Tui Lolohea, and at 7. The front row forwards will be Adam Fnell-Blake and Takiaho.
Love it.
Yeah. And at hooker we got Saliva. Is that his name? Saliva Havili?
Yeah, I think so. Let us know if we say any names wrong too. We want to get everyone's name right, obviously.
Yeah. So the back rowers, I think that these are really strong back rowers. We've got Talakai, he plays for the Sharks, and Satili Tupanua for the Roosters, and at lock, obviously the one and only Jason Taumalolo.
So that's a crazy forward pack too.
That is a good forward pack.
Always hard to pick halves. Like that was pretty tough to pick the halves. Bringing a Lolohea back from the Super League.
Yeah.
Tony Staggs could probably do a job there. A lot of pressure on Lolohea if he does get picked at 7.
Yeah.
To kind of steer that team around. Now listen to this Samoan team.
Yep.
Jermaine Asako at fullback with Brian Tohol and David Norfolima on the wings.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Stephen Crichton and Joseph Sawali in the centres, with Jerome Luai and Dylan Brown in the halves. Now, I picked Junior Paulo in the front row. There's every chance he'll get picked for Australia.
Yep.
But if he does, Josh Papali'i also qualifies to play for Samoa. So I would have either him or Paulo with Spencer Linu. I got Jazz Tavanga at 9. Isaiah Papali'i and Jaden Sewer in the back row with Tino Fasua-Malawi.
In at lock, nice.
That is a crazy side.
That is a good side.
Now, if they can pick their strongest sides, and I hope a couple of players do decide to play for Tonga and Samoa again,
Yeah.
we could be looking at one of the most competitive World Cups we've had in ages.
100%.
Because forever it's been Australia, New Zealand, or England's going to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like Australia pretty much in the box seat most years. But if Samoa, if that's the Samoan side, that's a very competitive side. Especially their halves. I think that's a good halves combination there.
Yeah, definitely.
Dylan Brown, again, a little bit of pressure on him to play 7, but I think he could do it. And then New Zealand are still going to have a strong side. We might actually look at that next week, picking a New Zealand and Australian side as well.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe even on Wednesday we might do that.
Yeah, maybe. Could be picking English team as well, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. See, the thing is, I don't watch a lot of Super League either, so...
Yeah, me either.
Just at the top of my head, GI played on the weekend.
Yeah.
Would you like to see him back playing Origin this year? If he can get fit,
No.
They need a centre. We spoke about it the other day. They need a centre. Of course they need a centre.
Dan Gagai, Kurt Capewell, that's the centres.
It's not the centres. It could be the centres, but they could... If you could have Inglis back in the NRL, like just 3 games, you think he could get himself up for an Origin game?
I don't think so.
Jeez, I'd love to see it.
You would love to see it, I just don't think he can.
Yeah. Anyway, he scored on the weekend. I think he set up another one. It's too early for me. I'd love to get up and watch him, but I work afternoons too, so I'm dead to the world till about 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think those are some solid sides. The English side might be hard to pick because there's a lot of Super League players that I don't really know about, but there'll definitely be a lot of NRL players in there as well.
Yeah, surely.
But definitely an Australian and New Zealand side we should pick maybe on Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to the World Cup. I think it's going to be good. All right, what's not good is the huge injury toll right now in the NRL.
Yep.
And it's really been capped off by a sad moment on Saturday night. Brett Morris, one of the legends really of our game. He looks like his career's probably over with that torn ACL.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Brett Morris?
That's unfortunate, but it's part of the game. Do you think with the game getting a little bit quicker, them trying to keep the game flowing with those not repeat sets, like 6 again sets and all that, is taking its toll on the players?
It's got to have an effect. This can't have come from nowhere.
Well, you've seen a fair few ACL injuries in the last 2 seasons, like more than I can remember over the last 5-6 seasons in the last 2 seasons.
Well, you look at the Roosters alone; they've had heaps.
What was it? Victor Radley, Sam Verrills,
now Lindsay Collins, Brett Morris, Luke Keary.
Yeah,
they've had heaps of them, and it's got to be attributed to something. Just before we get off, Brett Morris, 275 games, 176 tries, 23 tests, 32 tries in those tests, and 15 origins with 5 tries as well. Truly one of the great wingers of the modern era, and he always found a way to get better, I thought. Like, even you look at him this year, I think he had 11 tries in 6 games this year. And he's playing good footy, and he looked fit too.
Yeah,
like,
he looked good.
He looked really good. He won't be lost to the great game. I think already before this happened, he was talking about going into coaching.
Okay. Trent
Robinson has come out and said he'll be around the side the rest of the year in like a mentor role. So,
okay,
obviously got a great mind for the game.
Yeah.
Sad to see him go out like that. Hopefully, if it is his last game, hopefully he's remembered for everything else he done.
Yeah.
Because he was a big part. I wanted to look at the rest of the injuries. Right. We have a huge list, and this is not every single person that's out. This is just some of the big names that are out of the game at the moment. Also, if they're due back this round, I didn't put them in there. Katoni Staggs, Chance Klugster, Josh Hodgson, Jared Croker, Josh Jackson, Martin Tapau, Dylan Walker, Ryan Pappenhausen, Mitchell Pearce, Blake Green, Hamiso Tabawa-Fado, Nathan Brown, Kurt Catewell, Cam Murray, Adam Reynolds, Campbell Graham, Josh Mansell, Zach Lomax, Cam McInnes, Boyd Cordner, Brett Morris, Lindsay Collins, Jake Friend, he's retired, Adam Fanua-Blake, Chanel Harris-Tavita, and James Roberts.
That's a big list.
That's a high quality. That's a lot of quality players out of our game at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
There's got to be a cause and effect there.
It has to be. It has to be these new rules.
Has to be
because what was it last year? Like 20% or something like that of the NRL roster, they were injured.
Yep.
So you'd have to put it up to these rule changes.
I think something's got to happen. I like the idea. Now the 6 again. It's created a more attacking brand of footy. We're seeing scores that we don't usually see. I like the idea of giving the attacking side an option when you get a 6 again, because we were at the Warriors game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Cowboys had the ball with a minute to go. And we're sitting there and said, well, why don't the Warriors just lay on every single tackle?
Yeah.
Like a centre 6 goes for a minute. So it's not going to hurt him if they give away 6 again.
Yeah.
Just lay on every single tackle. It's not going to make a difference. And then they win the game.
Yeah.
They didn't do that, but they could have done it pretty easily. I think you give the attacking side an option that if you give away 6 again, they can choose, no, we want a penalty instead. We're going to kick for touch.
Yeah, or kick for goal.
Yeah,
because at the end of the game, if you're up by 2 points and you're close to the line, it happens every week.
Yep.
Everyone just lays in the ruck.
So give them the option.
Yeah.
And you see so many right now on the first tackle. They'll chase down a kick and they'll give one on the first tackle to get their line set, and then they'll go from there, because what's one tackle doesn't matter.
Especially on a 7 tackle set, if everyone's not back and that guy takes a tap and they're almost away, they make half a break, you just lay on them, give away 6 again, wait for your teammates to get back to 10.
Yep, it makes sense. Give the attacking side the option to kick for touch. You'll ninx all that. It'll go away.
Yep.
I reckon. Because there are times when it's good for the attacking side to get 6 again, but there's times when it's not good.
Yeah.
Anyway, Daily M leaderboard. Did we say who we got? I think I said Clint Gutherson at the start of the year.
Yeah, and I said Munster.
You said Munster. All right, well, the top 5 at the moment is Nathan Cleary, RTS, Latrell Mitchell, but he's meant to lose points. I don't know how that's going to work. Let us know in the comments if you do know how that works, but we don't really know. Ryan Pappenhausen's on 12, and then James Fisher-Harris is on 11. Good on him.
Yeah.
Front rower has never won the award.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think what's crazy is Ryan Pappenhausen is on 12 points, and he's missed how many games? 3? 3 or 4?
Yeah.
3.
3.
I think he's missed 3 games, and he's on 12 points.
No. Is he back this week?
I don't think so.
No, he's not, because he was on that list.
Yeah,
so
he's
can't be
not back.
this
I
week.
think they were saying round 9.
Okay.
Round 9. So
Well,
that's
round 9's next week.
Well, not round 9 then.
Okay, maybe round 10. Speaking of round 8, what do you make of the games?
I thought they were all good games.
Yeah, I did like them. We didn't see a lot on Saturday, especially the last 2 games, because we were at an engagement party. We always find a way to watch a little bit of sneaky footy, though. We were camped up the back, watching a bit of footy.
Yeah, by the file. Right, yeah, anyway, we'll just get straight into the games. On Thursday, we had the Rabbitohs defeat the Raiders 34-20. I don't know what's been going on at the Raiders lately. What's changed in the off-season? Last year, we were talking about how they'd come out and blitz sides in the second half. And this year, it seems like it's the total opposite. They're just falling apart after half time.
Yep.
Joe Tarp and his wife even came out and said, it's the subs.
Oh yeah, the subs. She wasn't happy with their rotations.
Yeah.
Saying they got an international forward sitting on the bench.
Yeah, and then I mean, she has a point.
Yeah.
She does have a point. Joe Tarpney is probably one of the Raiders' best forwards, second best forward, I reckon, behind Josh Papali'i.
It's not a good look though, having the wife of a player come out like that. Do you think?
Yeah, no, not a good look.
As much as what she said,
she has a point.
She does have a point, 100%. But from a club standpoint, that's not probably not what you want to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably going to create some issues internally, but she has a right to speak her mind, and what she said is correct. Like, they're not getting results.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd time the Raiders have scored more than 20 points in a game and lost.
Well, they were winning at half time, weren't they?
Yeah, well, I thought there was more effort this week, though. I thought they played all right. Jack Whiten got 2 tries disallowed late, both definitely no tries, but you could see he was right up for the game, which was good to see. If you can get the most out of Jack Whiten, who is, when he's at his best, he's arguably one of the best players in the game.
Yeah, well, he's up there for probably second best 6 in the game at the moment.
Yeah, so if you can get the best out of him, that's good. In the last month, they're averaging giving up 31 points a game, the Raiders.
That's not good enough.
That's not a top 8 side. No way.
Well, I was saying at the start of the year, I thought they'd finish 4th.
Item 6th, but I really don't know. What are you making of the Rabbitohs' form? 7 in a row. Probably the last couple of weeks they haven't been at their best, but they're still getting the job done.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming from behind. I mean, it's still there. They've still got it.
Yeah.
But they're just, I think they're not, I don't know, like they're not switched on for the entire 80, I guess.
You probably don't want them playing their best footy now, though.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they'll peak at the right time. 7 in a row, they're still getting the job done. Benji is fast becoming one of the most valuable buys of the year. Yeah, well, now they've got injury with Adam Reynolds.
Yeah, Reynolds is out.
And they got him at a steal too, Benji. And now he'll play the month that Adam Reynolds is out. They're doing the right things. They'll say themselves they haven't been their best self, though.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, we'll go on to the Friday night games. Storm beat the Sharks 40 points to 14. Good first half from the Sharks. They were up 8-6 at the half, and they looked like they were winning. They were beating the Storm.
Yeah.
But then the second half, the Storm just ran all over them. What was it? 7? I think they ran in 7 tries in the second half.
Yeah, I got here 7 tries in the second half. First half, the Storm were pretty bad though. Very unstorm-like. Craig Bellamy got him in at half time, give him a bit of a serve, and they come out and blew him apart. Again, the Storm aren't playing their best footy either, I don't think yet. But like you just said about the Rabbitohs, the same with the Storm. You can see it. You can see when they do turn it on, okay, this team's the real deal.
Yeah.
So they don't need to be playing their best footy now in May. They need to be playing in September.
Yeah. Score could have been a lot worse, except Cam Munster couldn't kick a goal to save his life.
Oh my God. Wasn't that terrible?
Yeah, 2 from right in, like, probably a metre to the side of the post.
You know what was funny though? Cam Munster's reaction was so good.
Yeah.
Like he would stand there with his hands on his hips going, I don't know what I'm doing.
Just like, what's this? Anyway, on to the next game. You called this. Broncos defeat the Titans 36-28. It was 22-0 after about 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, this is going to be another blowout. I even messaged you, said, why'd you tip the Broncos?
I know.
And
Well,
then
I was sitting there shaking my head thinking, this is the gold standard in Queensland.
Yeah.
This is what they toss up.
And then something happened. Broncos, they found something. They got on a bit of a roll. They scored. They went into the half-time 22-all.
Yeah.
Jermaine Osaka, he played really well in attack. In defence, he got found out there on those kicks.
Yeah.
But overall, he had a pretty good game.
I thought he was great in attack, and I think that's his strongest attribute.
Yeah.
Defensively, he got called out by a couple of people on Twitter defensively, and then kind of made them eat their words a little bit, like because he was getting trashed a little bit by a couple of people, and then he come out and had like a crazy game to end. We've been talking about it a lot lately that more than ever in our game, there's runs of points.
Mm-hmm.
And this game pretty much summed that up. I think the Titans scored the first 22, Broncos scored the next 36 points.
Something like that.
So that's just what happened. Whoever had the ball was pretty much going over here.
Yeah.
Brimson got sin bin for a professional foul, which I thought was soft, but a professional foul is a sin bin.
Yeah, it was soft, but I mean, if you want to, like, he milked it.
Yeah.
Like, fair play.
Yeah, so I was pretty happy with that. I think the Broncos will go to 2 in a row. I think they'll beat the Cowboys next week as well.
That's true.
Yep.
Just before we get on to the next game, there's been a player I want to talk about, Mo Fodawaker.
Yeah.
Right, so it was a tight game in the last 10 or so minutes between the Bunnies and the Titans. That was last week, was it?
Yeah.
And then he gave away 2 penalties. I remember, I think one might have led to a try, one led to a penalty goal. And I thought that was bad. Like, he gave away 2 penalties, like, back-to-back sets,
Yeah.
which kind of gave the Bunnies the upper hand. And then on the weekend against the Broncos, the Broncos were on a bit of a roll. It was last tackle, 5th tackle. Paynas gets up play the ball. Mo Fodawaker lifts his foot, gives away 6 again, and that leads to a try.
Yeah.
Now, I think that is woeful. Like, just really bad, what's the word I'm looking for? Discipline, that's right. And I would not be surprised if he's out of the 17 this week.
Well, Holbrook wasn't happy after the game, and he'll say things like that. He could be dropped for this weekend.
I think he'll be out of the 17 this week.
Yeah, which is sad because he's a Queensland player. Like, he's a Queensland bench player, especially with Lindsay Collins out. He'll be very important for this series. So hopefully he can clean that up.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyway, on to the Saturday. Panthers beat Manly 28-16. It was a very competitive game.
Yeah,
well done to the Manly side. I mean, if I was a Manly supporter, I wouldn't be too upset that they did lose because they were only up by 6 with like 5 minutes to go.
And they were coming to get him.
They were coming to get him, and then they scored a try in like the 77th minute to kind of seal the deal.
I'd be stoked with this if I was a Manly's fan. It was like they were gone. Manly were gone. They were running last. And then they go to Gosford. They win that game. Tommy comes back. They smash the next 2 weeks. Then they come up against a Panthers side who...
A red hot side.
They've got another gear that I don't think many teams have.
No.
And they played pretty good footy. I thought they shot himself in the foot in the second half with a couple of errors. And we watched a lot more of the second half than we did the first half. We were getting ready for the night and whatnot. But the second half, it just looked like they had so many errors to the point where I checked the error count because I thought like Manly must have dropped the ball heaps. So it was pretty similar. It was 12 errors to 11. Penrith's completions were terrible in this game, but I think Tommy's made such a big difference to this side. And not only is he playing outstanding, everyone else is playing on the back of it too.
Yeah.
And I feel like Cherry Evans is playing some pretty good footy again. So I'm happy for him. The Panthers just keep going. They're just a machine.
Yeah, I can't see him losing many games in the near future.
No.
Anyway, on to the Eels. They beat the Bulldogs 32 points to 10. A little bit disappointing that Parramatta couldn't hold them to 0.
Yeah.
But I'm still happy with the win. King Gutho, we had a bit of an argument on the weekend over who was better.
We had a bit of an argument just 10 minutes ago about it as well.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we argue about.
Yeah, well, King Gutho, he comes out and he has a stunner of a game. He has, 2 tries, 261 metres, 11 tackle busts, 3 line breaks and a line assist.
There's no
And,
doubt
yeah,
that
line break
he's a gun. He's definitely a gun.
He's the best player in the comp.
Yeah, well, the best player in the comp's not going to get picked in Origin, so explain that to me.
Okay.
I think he was very good. Scored a double. The Eels actually they're 4th in attack, 3rd in defence in the competition. They'll be happy with that top 3 in defence. I think Penrith have only let in 60 points all year. Does that blow your mind or what?
It's crazy.
They're the only team under 100 points conceded, and they're actually undefeated away from home. The Eels, so that's a good stat for them too.
That is good.
Yeah. Also, I just wanted to mention
the Gypsies.
Yeah, the Gypsies. I also wanted to mention on this game, one, Clint Goverson's one of the best looking blokes in the NRL. 2, the crowd for this game was like 11,000. 2 Sydney teams.
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon footy. You got no reason why you can't get your family there. They talk about wanting to do a 2-conference system, right, to boost crowd numbers and boost Sydney rivalries and that.
Yeah.
Yes, the Bulldogs aren't playing very good footy at the moment. This game needs to get more than 11,000 people to the game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, about 10 years ago, this would have had a crowd 30,000, 40,000 maybe.
Yeah, I was very disappointed with the crowd numbers. It was 13,000. There you go. 13,273 people. That is not enough for a Sydney derby, really. I was very disappointed in that. Eels win again. Bulldogs, I don't know. This will be the tail of their year. They'll bounce in and beat a couple of sides, but
against those top sides, I don't think that they stand.
I don't think it's not about winning for the Bulldogs though. It's about finding something with their team and winning later. Like just build your team.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, on to the Roosters Knights game. The Roosters beat them 38 points to 4. As we said before, we didn't really watch too much of this game as we were at a party. But Sam Walker,
yeah,
he had a really good game. I did watch the highlights. He had a try, 4 try assists. It was unbelievable. If he keeps this form up, I think the Rookie of the Year trophy's his.
Yeah, well, it's almost in his hands already. The Knights have lost 5 of their last 6, which is crazy. Majority of those losses are to teams that didn't make the top 8 last year. So they're in a huge hole. Pearcey, they're definitely missing Mitchell Pearce, I think. 100%. They've only scored 10 points in the last 2 weeks with arguably one of the best attacking fullbacks in the competition, in Callum Ponga.
Yeah, definitely. He's up there.
He's an absolute gun. They need to find a way to just get him involved. They're in a massive hole, and they're coming up against the Raiders side that has no trouble scoring points. Their troubles are conceding points, but they can score points.
They can, yeah.
So they're in a huge hole. They've got to go play Canberra, who are desperate for a win. Well, the Knights aren't in my top 8 at the moment.
No, definitely not. No way.
So
they're not looking good at all.
No. And they had everything to gain here too. And the Roosters just keep getting it done without players. Like, players go down, it's next man up for them. Like, James Tedesco wasn't available for this game. Doesn't matter for them. You know what I mean? Like, they've got such a good base and such a good culture in that club that it is just you just come in and do your job. Lindsay Collins, I think, is going to be such a big out. But we say this all the time.
Well, hold on. You go. I got something to say.
Well, we say this all the time. Cleary went down, huge out. Well, how are they going to recover? Will they recover?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now Boyd Cordner was out, Jake Friend was out. How are they going to go on?
Yeah.
They recover. Now Lindsay Collins is out.
Okay. That's a lot of outs. So get this. All right. Their whole spine from the start of the year was out this round. Plus their captain.
That's nuts.
Their entire spine, 1, 6, 7, 9, and Boyd Cordner.
And they still go up and smash the Knights.
Yeah.
So did the Knights have their whole spine out? From the start of the year.
Well, Ponga's their
best spine. Yeah, you're right.
So Ponga's their number 1 choice, and Jaden Brayley's their 9. They'd be missing Blake. Blake Green wasn't.
He played, but then got injured.
Yeah, but to start the year was Kurt Mann and Mitchell Pearce.
No, but their best spine was available. Like, Callum Ponga is their best fullback, so he was in the game.
Yeah.
The Roosters, it's just, I don't know, they just keep rolling on. I thought the Knights had everything to gain in this game. We both picked the Knights.
Yeah, we both did pick the Knights.
I don't know. Roosters, I had them coming 5th. They look a bit better team than that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh well, we'll have to wait and see where they go. They're doing well at the moment though.
Yeah, awesome. It's good to see.
Anyway, on to Sunday. We were at this game. Warriors beat the Cowboys 24-20. Lovely day. Nice, sunny, warm.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, the beers were flowing until we had a really bad one. Yeah, we had a woeful beer. Anyway, it was a close game. At the end there, the Warriors kind of put on a score, and then the Cowboys looked like they were coming back.
Well, the Warriors, it was all the Warriors in the first. They scored 3 tries in the first 20 minutes. And they were looking great. What I did like to see from the Cowboys was a bit of fight, a bit of hunger to stay in the game.
Yep.
What'd you make of the 3,600 people there?
There's got to be more people there.
I think we're in a real bad spot with crowds. I think I looked at all the crowd numbers. I don't have them in front of me. I thought the Raiders got a good crowd on the Thursday night, which is good for them.
Yeah.
There was a couple other games that maybe there was decent numbers. Newcastle usually gets a good crowd. I think I had a problem with the Broncos-Titans. You would expect a Broncos-Titans game on a Friday night to get a good crowd as well.
Yeah.
What did they get? It was 21,000 at Suncorp. The Broncos were getting 30 plus a few years ago, just any game.
It was 2018, I think.
Yeah,
it's when they made the 8.
You can't. What more do you want? That is their local derby.
Well, I guess with the Warriors-Cowboys game,
yeah,
it's in the Central Coast. You got the North Queensland Cowboys, the furthest team away from the Central Coast, and then you got a team from another country.
That's why you can give them a pass.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying to Katie anyway, because she was like, "Oh, there's not many people here."
But as a rugby league fan, Sunday afternoon kickoff, perfect day, good location.
Yeah, very good location.
I feel like we tout how many rugby league fans there are on the coast all the time. Anytime there's a conversation for a new team, well, Central Coast is rugby league heartland. There's so many fans here. They got 3,600 on the weekend. What does that say to the NRL?
Don't put a team there.
That's what I mean. Now, when they do have 2 competitive sides, they will get a good crowd there. But I mean, they should have got more than this.
Yeah, what was it, 2-3 years ago? They had Sharks Roosters.
22,000.
22,000.
Yeah.
The stadium was packed.
Oh, the stadium was packed to the rafter.
Ran out of beer.
Yeah, ran out of beer before kickoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, now the Cowboys, I did like that they were able to get himself back in the game. I do have an issue with their defence. They have not kept the team under 18 points in any game all year.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's that for a stat. You're not going to win many games, having to outscore your team, having to chase 18 points every week. I know you had something to say about Reece Walsh. He is a future star.
Mate, I thought both the Warriors halves looked really dangerous, especially when they ran the ball.
Yeah.
Reece Walsh in particular, he was unbelievable. And can you believe the Broncos let him walk?
Oh, I can't. I don't know. I don't know how it happens. I thought he was sensational on the weekend. He played really well at fullback the week before in Melbourne. Tough ask for anyone to come in and play fullback. And then on the weekend, he was the most dangerous player on the field.
100%.
He was outstanding. He set up a good try that got called back for the off the shoulder knock on. Yeah, but he split him open and then held the ball long enough to lay on that try. I thought he played really well. Other than that, the Warriors, they've been up and down all year. Good to get the win here to hold on. Hopefully they can build off that.
Pardon me, hopefully. Anyway, on to the last game of the round. The Tigers defeat the Dragons 16 points to 8. Now, how about the Dragons? They've fallen off a cliff since beating Parramatta in round, 5, was it?
Yeah.
They've gone on to lose 3 in a row against the Warriors, Roosters, now the Tigers. And the Tigers have looked awful in the last few games.
Yeah, I really don't know.
What?
The Tigers have been patchy at best. Credit where credit's due. They went down to the Dragons' home stadium and got the job done there, 16-8. And they had to hold on a bit. I thought they played pretty good footy. It was awesome to see that Zach Sini go over in the corner in front of all these home fans and stuff. That was really cool to see. That's kind of what rugby league is about. He seems like a bit of a larrikin, and that was good to see. But the Dragons they're in a dead set hole.
Mate, well, we were talking about this at the start. Well, not at the start, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were saying, look, the Dragons usually fall off around this time of the year, and we'll give them a couple of weeks to see how they go. And they've lost 3 in a row since then.
3 in a row. I can't believe they're still in the top 8. There's a bit of a discrepancy there. They're still coming 6, but who they got this week? That's what I want to know.
The Doggies, I think.
The Doggies, so.
Doggies, and then they got Melbourne.
Well, they're going to want to build some confidence going into the Melbourne game. So they'll want to win this week.
They might even lose against the Doggies.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's not good news for the Dragons. A lot of people told me it would be different this year. It'd be different. Because I rattled off, they're usually good till about round 6, and then they start their decline. And I rattled all that off, and I got inundated with Dragons fans saying, no, it's different. Like, Anthony Griffin's built this team, and it's going to be different. And, well, we're going to have to see it, because 3 in a row.
I mean, that... We'll go 4 in a row. If they lose 4 in a row, and against the Doggies...
Give them a fortnight. I want to see how they go against Melbourne. I think they should win next week. You would think.
Well, they should have won this week.
Yeah, I know.
Against the Tigers.
I want to see how they go against Melbourne. They got to be up for that game.
I don't think they will be. To be honest, I've lost all faith in the Dragons at this point.
All right. Well, we will be back on Wednesday for our Q&A show, and we're going to build our Australian and New Zealand sides. That'd be good, I reckon.
Yep.
And just while we're shaping up to the World Cup, you even had a little look at Fiji. You thought they'll have an okay side.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for the World Cup this year, especially if Samoa and Tonga can get their best sides out on the field. I think it could be the most competitive World Cup we've seen in a very long time.
Definitely.
All right, don't forget to check out all our socials, guys. We'll link them all in the bio. Thanks for tuning in, and hit us up anytime. See you.